everybody!
Hello!
Hi, welcome back to another episode of the GS E&C English podcast. My name is Owen.
I'm Dylan.
And today we have another episode for you, this time with a dialogue.
That's right.
What is the topic of our dialogue today?
Well, it's a work dialogue. It's happening at site. And there seems to be a problem.
Okay, so a problem at site. So as always, we have three expressions, three idioms for you, which are very useful when working at site, but in general, working life as well. But this time we only have one.
Just one.
Common error. Now this is a common error I hear a lot. So listen very carefully, see if you can pick out the one error, and then we'll go over it after the dialogue. Listen carefully.
Hi, boss. Where do you need me to be now?
I need you to come and look at this.
Okay. Is something wrong?
Yes, I'm afraid so. As you can see, this installation work was not done correctly. We need to do things by the book or we will have thousands of punch items to deal with.
The installation is still totally fine. We just used our own process to do it.
I'm sorry, my hands are tied on this one. Make sure you redo it and let me know when you're finished.
That will take days to redo. Do you have an official change order?
We don't need a change order as you didn't follow the procedure at the first time.
Well, we'll face an uphill battle to stay on schedule.
Well, you better get to work then.
Hi, boss. Where do you need me to be now?
I need you to come and look at this.
Okay. Is something wrong?
Yes, I'm afraid so. As you can see, this installation work was not done correctly. We need to do things by the book or we will have thousands of punch items to deal with.
The installation is still totally fine. We just used our own process to do it.
I'm sorry, my hands are tied on this one. Make sure you redo it and let me know when you're finished.
That will take days to redo. Do you have an official change order?
We don't need a change order as you didn't follow the procedure at the first time.
Well, we'll face an uphill battle to stay on schedule.
Well, you better get to work then.
Okay, so in the dialogue there was one. Just the one common error for you. Did you pick up on it? What was the error?
Okay, so the error revolves around this expression, at the first time.
At the first time.
I'll read the sentence. It says, we don't need a change order as you didn't follow procedure at the first time.
Yeah.
So hopefully you caught that error. And there's a couple of reasons why this sounds unnatural to me. First of all, at the first time isn't a common way of speaking anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it would be better to say in the first place. We're talking here about a situation where something should have happened. It didn't happen. So it doesn't really matter what happens now. This should have been done in the first place, at the beginning. So it would be much more natural to say, we don't need a change order as you didn't follow the procedure in the first place.
In the first place. In the first place is a good expression there.
Yeah. And I think there's a couple of reasons why this may happen. I think we're confusing the first time, at the first time, in the first place. So the simple advice I would give to you is, we use the first time to talk about the first time something happened.
Yeah.
You don't need at. So delete the at and just say the first time. So in my situation, I might say the first time I met my wife, or the first time you went to site, or the first time you ate curry. We're talking about the first time that you did something, and that's how we use that expression.
Yeah. The first time, or in the first place. But often I think people make a mistake with this as well, because they think at the first time and also at first. At first means something different as well. So we use at first if we're saying, For example, I'll give you an example sentence. At first, I didn't like kimchi, but now I do. At first, I didn't like something, but now I do. So it's showing contrast and how something has changed. So at first, the first time. At the first time is not an expression. Yeah. Okay, so at first, or the first time, or
in the first place.
There you go. All right, so try to avoid making that expression at the first time. Okay? All right, now let's go on to three key expressions for you. Okay, so now let's look at three common expressions, three idioms which would be very helpful for you in your working life, on site or at head office. Our first one is by the book. To do things by the book. In the dialogue it said, we need to do things by the book, or we will have thousands of punch items to deal with.
That's not a good situation.
It's not at all. So what do we do? What does it mean to do things by the book?
Well, by the book means you follow the established rules, the established processes, the established procedure. You can't deviate. You must follow it exactly as it is stipulated. That's what it means to do things by the book.
Obviously, Dylan, you do everything by the book.
Obviously, whenever it comes to GSTs,
Yep.
when it comes to teaching,
Yep.
I do everything by the book.
What a perfect employee you are.
I'm trying to get that S. So.
Right. Do things by the book. All right. So our second expression was hands are tied. In the dialogue, it said, I'm sorry, my hands are tied on this one. What does that mean?
It simply means that you cannot do maybe what you want to do. You are restricted by something. Imagine your hands being physically tied. You wouldn't be able to use your hands the way that you want to use them. So when we say our hands are tied, it just means, to give you an example, maybe I want to help someone change their GST score, but I can't because that wouldn't be by the book. My hands are tied. I can't change your GST score.
I can't help you.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. I cannot do anything. So it could be a procedure, a rule, a law. My hands are tied. Okay. So our last one was an uphill battle. In the dialogue, it said, we'll face an uphill battle to stay on schedule.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Very simply, an uphill battle means it's going to be a big challenge, or it's going to be quite difficult.
Right.
It comes from a military term. When two armies fought, if they fought on even ground, it's quite even.
Yeah.
But if one army is higher, one army is lower, it's going to be much more difficult for this army to win.
Yes.
Hence, it's an uphill battle. And that's how we use it. We use it to show that something is going to be more difficult than we would expect it to be. An uphill battle.
Exactly. Okay, so what else could you think of that is an uphill battle?
Studying a language is a continuous uphill battle.
It really is.
Yeah.
We're both studying Korean.
It is tough.
It's very difficult. So we feel your pain. We understand what you're going through. It really is an uphill battle to improve your language skills. However, luckily for you, you're working in the right place, because what do we have to help people?
We have a plethora of English courses for you.
Plethora. Wow, there's a good word.
That you can use to help improve your English. To talk about our options at head office, we have a range of morning and evening classes. So we've got 3 speaking classes for basic, intermediate, and advanced speakers. We also have a meetings class in the mornings at head office, and we have a negotiations class at head office. But on top of that, we also have some intensive programs. These intensive programs are just a week long in the afternoon at Namcheon, where you can become better at writing emails or better at negotiations. And of course, on top of all that, we still have our BC programs, which are 4-week programs run from Namcheon, or Yongin. So again, you have every opportunity to improve your English, and we will support you every step of the way.
Exactly. So if any of you ever have any questions about the courses, you'd like to sign up, but you're not sure how or anything, just send either of us a message. We'll be happy to help you with that. Again, make sure you subscribe, like the video on YouTube, and so that will make sure it'll help you tune in next week for another episode. Okay, so that's all the time we have for today. So see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.